How's it going, Rams fans? Welcome back to your spooky Thursday night sports show, The Blitz, hosted by yours truly, Brendon Fairbairn. This week, I'm going to take a deep dive into the gridiron recruiting scene to meet some new CSU football commits for the upcoming class of 2021 and see how they're dealing with remote recruiting, as well as taking a look at some sports betting locks for tonight's CSU football opener. With all this being said, I have a football-packed show to get into tonight, so let's jump right into it. As Rams football finally reaches its long-awaited return, I decided it was a good time as ever to sit down with two of CSU's football top athletes from the impending class of 2021 to talk about their experiences with the unusual at-home recruiting procedures in place and give CSU fans a taste of what these commits will bring to the program here in Fort Collins.
On March 13, 2020, the NCAA initiated a dead period on college recruiting for all sports. The dead period means no face-to-face contact between coaches and recruits. Coaches and current players could still communicate with recruits over text, email, phone, and video. More recently, effective as of September 16, 2020, the NCAA committee voted to extend the dead period through the end of this year. This past weekend, I sat down, socially distanced over Zoom, of course, to interview two CSU class of 21 football commits and allowed them to open up about their time with the new remote recruiting process. Three-star defensive lineman Grady Kelly from Navarre High School in Florida and local three-star offensive tackle Justin Michael from Poudre High School are both super eager to begin their college careers in Fort Collins starting next year.
It's different because obviously, having friends that have went through the recruitment process and stuff, and them letting me know how their recruitment process was. Mine's definitely been different. At the end of the day, what a lot of the guys tell me is, you got to go where you feel, wanted and where you fit and stuff like that. And, even without being able to physically go to the school, I was still able to, build those bonds and connections, which was huge for me. So, that's why I kind of feel even though I haven't visited, when I do visit, it's the connection and stuff still going to be there.
I think, I got offered first by Bobo's staff, and I guess I only met them once, and that was when they offered me. So, of course, I was happy, but I never really got to know them that well. It was a lot different than what I saw with Brian, because he got to go on visits and stuff like that. It was just a bunch of calls, text messages, and Zoom calls and FaceTimes and stuff like that.
CSU's defensive line will be getting a Max Crosby-type player with Grady Kelly's finesse and power moves off the D-line and his ability to absolutely dominate.
Actually, a relatively new player this year that I found myself playing a lot would be Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. When I watch him play, I just see a lot of the same finesse type of moves that I use in pass rush and but still really dominant and a big presence in the run game too. So I'll definitely I kind of see myself as stylistic matched up with him.
On the offensive side for CSU, former tight end, now offensive tackle Justin Michael brings a dual threat, aggressive, and athletic approach to his style of game, which fits perfect for new head coach Steve Adazio's hard-nosed style of play.
My athletic ability. I'm good at going downfield and getting linebackers and pulling, and I'm good at pass sets and stuff like that.
CSU fans are in for a treat next year once Kelly and Michael suit up for the Rams in September of 2021. Hopefully, once the COVID-19 outbreak has been contained, so fans can get a front row seat to these future CSU stars.
Rams offensive line coach Louis Adazio and defensive line coach Antoine Smith are going to have a blast developing the raw talent of defensive tackle Grady Kelly and offensive tackle Justin Michael next season, that's for sure. Switching gears a little bit from the future of Rams football and coming back down to the present. As of last week, my pick for the New York Giants to cover the plus 4.5 spread against division rival Philadelphia Eagles hit. This week, I am just as confident in my spread and over-under picks for CSU's first game of the 2020 season against the Fresno State Bulldogs in this week's edition of What Are the Odds? CSU opens up Mountain West play as 1.5-point favorites against the 0-1 Bulldogs according to FanDuel Sportsbook. This spread line is very even, but CSU has the best chance to cover out of both squads. The Rams are 5-2 in the last 7 games against the spread versus the Bulldogs, winning 6 of their last 7 matchups against them. Meanwhile, Fresno State is the exact opposite. going 1-4 in their last 5 home contests against the spread. CSU has a brand new coaching system and no Warren Jackson to make the transition any easier. Sophomore receiver Dante Wright and junior tight end Trey McBride are going to have to pick up the slack on the receiving end to keep the Rams' explosive offense from last year intact. I have CSU covering the 1.5 spread with a victory of at least 4 points, starting the season strong at 1-0. Well, Ram fans, that's all the sports-related goodness I have for tonight. If you tune in, make sure to tune in next week to see more of my sports betting locks for CSU's next game against Wyoming. Have a wonderful weekend and have a great Halloween, and we'll see you on Monday for CTV Sports.